Okay. Hey, here is episode 1. I guess I'll start with the reason why I decided to call the YouTube page Drama Adjacent. So basically, even my profile picture kind of represents like what drama adjacent means to me, right? So being drama adjacent meaning like I'm okay with like knowing drama, I just don't like to be in it. And so I feel like that's what social work kind of is, right? So we're aware of the lot of like people's personal lives and social lives and like social economic status and mental health. Like we know a lot, but like we don't necessarily want to be the like problem or factor of why they're struggling. We definitely want to be a support, but like to be like, oh, you know, this client did this, that, and the third, or patient did this, that, and the third to me, like, so we don't want that. So this page is to kind of help facilitate and support other clinicians, no matter where you are, statewide, on like ways to kind of be drama adjacent, right? Really focus in on facts and not get involved in people's personal lives, because I think a really big part of what we stand for are boundaries and support, and a part of the system that provides the resources and the connections for the client and for the community. So yeah, like being drama adjacent I think is really important. Okay, I also wanted to give you some information about me and just who I am professionally. I started my career about, oh my gosh, I want to say maybe almost 10 years ago. So I was I went my undergrad, I got my graduate degree, my graduate degree. For those who are interested in social work, kind of how I did the process. My undergraduate degree is social work, a minor in sociology. So the reason why I decided to do it, honestly, the funny story about social work was I didn't know what it was. Like I had no clue what it was or what it meant to be a social worker. I like during orientation in my first, like in college, they were talking about like, okay, if you're interested in this group or that group, not knowing the groups were your major. Well, I was just following one of my friends and we were talking, and then I just followed the group in a room and they were like, okay, so welcome to the social work department. I was like, oh boy. So my undergraduate degree is from Bennett College for Women. It's an all women's historically black college located in Greensboro, North Carolina. And it was an experience. I will give it that for sure. Something that I would never take away. It, you know, that experience kind of is a part of who I am today. So, yes, big fan of HBCUs for sure, because it was the first time I was able to be connected and around different types of people of color, right? So I just was used to people who I was around. I'm originally from Belleville, Michigan, right? And I was around like IT black people, but we were all very the same or similar, right? Somewhat middle class. You know, there was like a hood, but then you had middle class and like that was it. No, HBCU, you get a variety. You get a little bit of everybody. And I think that was really fun. So my major was social work. My minor was sociology, mainly because I really liked the head professor in the sociology department. She was really, Dr. McLucas, she was really like spunky and fun. And she talked about the like social economic part of social work. And I just got a real feel, and like I was really good at like getting to know people, and I got introduced to maternal infant health. So you had to have like 2 internships or internship, and I got my first mentor for social work was this really cool white lady. And I say white because I think it's important for me to say her color, because I was able to get a lot of experience and my color not be a problem. And I was able to see a white woman come in and not try to stereotype, women that look like me. And I got to see a woman from the South, right, in a different demographic, a different light. And she took me under her wing, and she was very patient with me. And I had my first internship experience was with a white woman in like catering, wedding catering, because I thought that's something I was interested in. I wanted to learn more about like diversity in different religions and cultures and like how they celebrate their weddings. And I felt like she threw me under the table when it was time for me to get graded, because we never had conversations about like what kind of made me uncomfortable or what the experience was like. So for me to be in another situation, in a whole other state, to be interning with mommies and babies in lower economic, like financial situations, and then to be like being toted around with this white woman, like and she was so nice and cool and like just laid back. And we're Facebook friends now, and I make sure I keep her up to date on my journey and what I'm up to. And she was just amazing. Her name was Kim, and she had a pit bull and she just loved her pit bull, and she was health conscious and was aware of her. So it made me like, she was really a role model, right? So helped me like eat better and like be a little healthier, and I just really appreciate that experience. So graduate school, so undergrad, that was 4 years. I graduated from there. I would say my support system was really big for me. My mom was really supportive. I was like falling in love, that happened a time or two. But she would like come back and like get me back into reality and like, come on, babe, like focus, Britt, focus. We're not here for that. And that was helpful. Like there was some, and maybe we'll have story time here or there. But my support system was a very big factor on me doing well and succeeding. And I did really well academically. I had like maybe one or two bad semesters. But when I first got there, I was in a scholarship program, because they really gave me a chance. Like I think I graduated from high school with like a 2.7, okay? Barely making it. Didn't feel like I deserved anyone to do any recommendations for me. Financially, my family was going through some things. My grandparent had recently passed away, and family came together, I'll say, and figured out a way to get me to North Carolina. Bennett accepted me. It was the only school I applied for. I think one other school I applied for, and I didn't get in. And then Bennett accepted me, and I got in, and I grew. I learned. I thrived. I matured. And I continued to mature throughout my journey. So yeah, graduated in 4 years. My mom came to my graduation. My stepdad, my biological father, came into my graduation. My aunts, my uncle, my aunts, my grandmother, and my grandfather. So like I had a support system, and I think having a support, and it doesn't have to necessarily be like biological family that's your support. One of my nearest and dearest friends, she wasn't graduating yet, and she hung out real tough with us, to celebrate me, and that felt really good. So yeah, and then I graduated from there in 2007. Yes, 2007.